More than 190 million U.S. voters may have had personal data exposed. A so-called friendly hacker uncovered the publicly available database online earlier this month. Cybersecurity expert Joe Loomis is with me now. So, Joe, why is this database not better protected?
This is a really example of what happens when there's too much data on the web, and it's really not protected because to this day we don't even know who owns the database is the problem. The data kind of is residing out there because I think there's no one wants to assess liability or even kind of take advantage of the fact that someone's found this database and no one really wants to take claim to it.
Okay, no one wants to take claim. What can hackers do with the info? I mean, I know addresses and phone numbers are there, which may seem benign, but anything connected to voting seems like it deserves privacy.
Huge voter fraud, huge identity theft issues with, like, I've got my friend Todd Davis at LifeLock. There's huge issues around this because think about it. You can look up anybody's name and find out where they live. To think about from a national security issue, think about from a privacy or personal issue, having a database of this kind of volume is really astronomical. The fact that it was just laying out there, which makes you wonder, what security measures are really getting put in place around such data.
Indeed. I want to stay on the security theme, obviously, because I have to ask you, this network security software services company, Fortinet, has put together a list of the biggest cyber threats in the new year. Headless worms, machine-to-machine attacks, jailbreaking, ghostware, two-faced malware. Those are on their top 5. Do you have another pick, or of these 5, which are the most threatening?
I think mobile devices are going to be the biggest issue because they're growing exponentially. Gartner Research stated that it's going to grow by 30% to like 6.8 billion devices connected to the internet. So there's your biggest landscape. So the hackers are always going to go after where their biggest target is because it's the most lucrative. The second is password management. People still don't want to use strong passwords. So I've suggested on the air many times LastPass. It's free. You should use it to learn how to use passwords and how to protect your stuff. And I think protecting the cloud. I think because we all rely on all these cloud providers, they need to look at where they're going to put their data. And I personally favor a company called Armor. They're the leader in secure cloud. And we need to start listening to the people that do this for a living. And it seems to be it's not just a hobby. It's not just something of convenience. It is actually day-to-day that we need to be focused on security.
And Joe, you've told us this before, but if you're in a Starbucks or any other public place, do not use that company's Wi-Fi, right? It's just worth it to rack up a couple extra data charges if you're doing banking.
Absolutely. You do not want to trust anybody's open Wi-Fi whatsoever. And at minimum, if you have to connect to something to check maybe non-secure email or something, there are privacy VPN filters out there. There's solutions like SurfEasy. It's a relatively inexpensive service, but it creates a secure tunnel. So when you connect to an open Wi-Fi, it actually encrypts all of your data from your machine through their devices and say, but industry standard is to stay away from open Wi-Fi networks.
Joe, great to have you. Practical advice we can all use. Joe Loomis, thank you so much.